Welcome to the Bullvine Podcast, your go-to source for inside stories, cutting-edge research, and the latest updates in the world of dairy farming. For the 63rd episode, we will boost your dairy farm's team performance with proven leadership tips. Discover how to lead and get the best from your team effectively. So please grab a glass of milk, sit back, and let's get started with this week's episode.
Picture this. It's 4 a.m. Your dairy farm is starting to wake up, and you depend on your night shift supervisor to have everything in perfect order. But what if their eagerness to complete tasks leads to shortcuts that risk your cow's health? This unusual circumstance emphasizes the need for excellent leadership in improving team performance and operational effectiveness. This essay goes into improving leadership abilities in dairy farming, highlighting the value of good communication, relationship development, expectation setting, and continual feedback. As we examine these characteristics, you'll get practical insights and real-world examples of using these methods to increase farm production and staff happiness, demonstrating the importance of solid leadership for long-term success. Ready to take your team from competent to exceptional?
In dairy farming, leadership is more than simply a management position. It is the linchpin that binds the whole business together. Effective leadership directly impacts productivity, staff happiness, and overall farm performance, and can transform a small dairy farm into a well-oiled, high-yielding company. This potential for growth and success with effective leadership should inspire confidence and motivation in the audience.
Dairy farming presents unique challenges that demand strong leadership to overcome. From herd health management to crop production for feed, the farm leader must ensure that all aspects work well. Influential leaders create an atmosphere where employees understand their jobs and feel appreciated. This can help reduce employee turnover, a vital problem in an industry plagued by labor shortages.
Effective leadership may help dairy farm managers simplify processes and increase output. According to Michigan State University research, farmers who attended frequent team meetings had 20% greater output rates than those who only met when a problem occurred. Leaders who establish clear goals and keep open lines of communication guarantee that activities are completed quickly and accurately, eliminating mistakes and maximizing production.
The sheer amount of everyday activities often trumps employee pleasure in dairy farming. However, research conducted by Cornell University's Agricultural Workforce Development Program found that farms whose managers actively interacted with their staff had turnover rates of less than 20%, compared to the industry average of 30%. Effective leadership fosters a favorable work atmosphere where people feel acknowledged and valued, increasing morale and job satisfaction.
Overall, farm success is inextricably connected to the effectiveness of leadership. Leaders who focus on training and development equip their people to operate independently and effectively. This increases immediate productivity while also encouraging team creativity and problem-solving skills. For example, farms that engaged in ongoing staff development reported a 15% boost in operational efficiency.
Strong leadership is the driving factor behind a successful dairy farm. Farm managers may significantly increase productivity, contentment, and overall performance by emphasizing good communication, staff involvement, and continual improvement, setting the path for long-term success.
Strong connections among farm owners, managers, and staff are essential for peak performance and a happy work environment in any significant dairy farm business. Building these connections is more than simply being pleasant. It instills trust, respect, and open communication channels. Stephen Covey's emotional bank account notion from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is especially applicable in this context. The emotional bank account symbolizes a relationship's amount of trust and goodwill. You may make deposits and withdrawals just as you would with a bank account. You deposit funds into this emotional bank account when you follow your commitments, show respect, and communicate appropriately with your staff. Breaking commitments, displaying contempt, or communicating properly leads to withdrawals. Making and keeping commitments is critical to developing trust. For example, if you commit to resolving an employee's problem or pledge to evaluate and enhance their compensation based on their performance, keeping these commitments develops credibility. employees learn to believe you keep your promises, which is the foundation of every great relationship. Respect is another important factor. This might be as easy as praising an employee's hard work and devotion or actively listening when they express their opinions or concerns. Respecting workers' time, thoughts, and talents helps them feel appreciated, which increases their feeling of belonging and devotion to the farm. Clear communication is essential for preventing misunderstandings and keeping everyone on the same page. Clear and honest communication helps establish expectations when explaining new processes, addressing scheduling adjustments, or delivering feedback. It allows workers to express their problems, ask questions, and seek direction. This open line of communication creates a climate in which workers feel comfortable and supported, knowing their feedback is acknowledged and respected. You promote mutual respect, trust, and an open, communicative workplace by consistently putting funds into your workers' emotional bank accounts. These solid ties result in a motivated, devoted staff committed to meeting the farm's objectives and maintaining excellent operational standards.
Setting clear expectations is critical in dairy farming since it directly impacts behavior and performance. Employees must understand their responsibilities to perform correctly. Job descriptions, handbooks, and standard operating procedures are required to achieve this clarity. They give specific directions for activities, behaviors, and performance criteria without opportunity for ambiguity. Job descriptions serve as a basis for defining duties and responsibilities. Handbooks expand on this by outlining regulations, workplace standards, and anticipated conduct. SOPs, on the other hand, simplify complex procedures into step-by-step instructions, assuring consistency and uniformity throughout. A study of Michigan dairy farms emphasizes the necessity of establishing expectations. According to the poll, just 12.8% of dairy farms had monthly team meetings, while 67% only met when difficulties occurred. This lack of frequent communication causes misunderstandings regarding work tasks and responsibilities. Source: Michigan Dairy Farm Study. Furthermore, just 14% of Spanish-speaking workers reported getting training from owners or managers, compared to 42% of English-speaking employees, indicating central communication and expectation gaps caused by language hurdles. Farm managers might use job descriptions, handbooks, and standard operating procedures, SOPs, to establish clear and consistent expectations. This improves overall farm performance while decreasing the possibility of misunderstanding. These tools develop a standard and serve as a reference point for staff, ensuring everyone is on the same page.
Practical training and development are recommended not only for dairy farm owners, but also for those who are still required to sustain high performance and production levels. Proper training protects the health of the cattle, enables efficient operations, and contributes to a safe working environment. Data from Michigan dairy farms support this demand, demonstrating that 86% of Spanish-speaking staff were educated by other workers or self-taught rather than being taught by management. This shows a communication gap that may be bridged via systematic training. Supervisors play an essential role in training personnel. They are accountable not just for passing on information, but also for instilling confidence and competence. Supervisors must attend and participate in training sessions to guarantee consistency and offer correct feedback afterward. This is more than just distributing training work to the most convenient employee. It also considers who is best equipped to teach new personnel. An organized training regimen is not negotiable. Without one, training may be haphazard and uneven, resulting in varying outcomes and more mistakes. An effective training plan should include goals, activities, and assessment techniques. These parts form a cohesive framework that leads workers from basic competency to greatness. One remarkably effective method for training in agriculture is the Tell, Show, Do, Review model. This model breaks down the training process into manageable steps. Tell: explain the procedure and its importance clearly to the employee. Show: demonstrate the procedure step by step, allowing the trainee to observe. Do: let the trainee perform the procedure while being supervised. Review: provide feedback, pointing out what was done correctly and what can be improved. This strategy reinforces learning and gives workers the confidence to do tasks autonomously. Engaging the senses, and providing hands-on experiences enhances learning effectiveness and retention.
Giving constructive feedback is essential for boosting employee performance and completing jobs appropriately. There are 4 primary sorts of feedback: positive, redirection, negative, and ignoring. Positive feedback fosters excellent behavior by recognizing and validating successful performance. For example, commenting, "I noticed you followed the feed SOP exactly today. Great job," helps employees comprehend what they did successfully and encourages them to continue the activity. Redirection feedback seeks to assist staff in getting back on track or developing further. It is effective when workers are unaware that they are off course or need a boost to achieve the next level of performance. Consider the following scenario. You handled the TMR mixer well, but let's focus on ensuring the feed distribution is even across all bunks for more consistent cow intake. Negative feedback is required when persons intentionally conduct things badly or fail to fulfill expectations despite their abilities. For example, "I noticed you've been arriving late this week despite knowing how important it is to start the shift on time. We must fix this since it affects the whole team's workflow." Finally, disregarding feedback, the most common but least effective kind, entails neglecting to recognize both excellent and poor performance, and avoiding this form of criticism guarantees that workers do not feel devalued or unsure about their position. To ensure feedback is constructive and effective, use the SCORE acronym. Specific: provide detailed feedback. Instead of saying, "Good job," specify what was done well, e.g., "The way you handled the calf during delivery was excellent. You used the calf jack with perfect timing." Credible: base feedback on direct observation or reliable data. For instance, "According to the milking records, you're consistently reducing the somatic cell count. This shows great attention to udder health protocols." On time: deliver feedback promptly to maintain its relevance. Speak to an employee soon after observing their performance, like, "During this morning's shift, your attention to the cow's signs of heat was spot on." Relevant: ensure feedback pertains to critical job aspects, such as, "Your accuracy in feed mixture today was right on target, which directly impacts our milk production quality." Ends looking ahead: always offer a path forward. For example, "You've improved the barn's cleanliness significantly. Next, let's also focus on maintaining this level of hygiene in the milking parlor." Effective feedback tremendously impacts staff behavior, resulting in a more productive and peaceful dairy farm workplace. Detailed, credible, responsive, relevant, and forward-thinking supervisors may rectify errors, push for higher standards, and establish a more engaged and motivated team.
Change is vital for every company, including dairy farms. However, overcoming employee resistance to change may be a big problem. Understanding the underlying reasons for this resistance is one of the first stages in overcoming it. Employees sometimes oppose change because they fear the unknown, do not trust management, or have had unpleasant experiences with past change programs. To effectively manage and minimize resistance to change, involving employees in the process from the outset is essential. Here are several strategies to consider. Communication. Open, honest, and frequent communication is critical. Explain the change's reasons, benefits, and how it will affect everyone. Transparency helps build trust and reduces uncertainty. Employee involvement. Involve employees in planning and decision-making. This inclusion makes them feel valued and gives them a sense of ownership over the change process. Staff who are part of the process are more likely to support and advocate for the changes. Training and support. Provide adequate training and resources to help employees adapt to new processes or technologies. Ensure they have the support they need to succeed, including access to managers and supervisors who can address their concerns. Feedback mechanisms. Establish channels for employees to provide feedback throughout the change process. Their insights can be invaluable for identifying problems early and making necessary adjustments. Recognize and reward. Acknowledge those who embrace change and contribute positively. Recognizing and rewarding their efforts can motivate others to follow suit. The key to effective change management is constant improvement. Establishing a culture of continuous improvement implies that staff are constantly seeking new methods to improve their performance and the farm's operations. This culture may lessen resistance to change by making continual improvement the norm rather than an exception. By addressing the core reasons of resistance and actively integrating workers in the change process, dairy farm owners may build a more flexible and adaptive workforce capable of meeting the demands of an ever-changing business.
Creating a good work environment on your dairy farm is more than pleasant. It is critical for increasing production and employee happiness. When your staff feels appreciated and motivated, they are more inclined to go above and beyond their essential job obligations, contributing to your business's overall success. Here are some tips for building a supportive culture, encouraging teamwork, and recognizing employee contributions. Lead by example. Show respect and appreciation in your daily interactions. Your behavior sets the tone for how employees interact with each other. Recognize achievements. Regularly acknowledge hard work and milestones. This could be through public recognition during team meetings or private expressions of gratitude. Promote teamwork. Encourage employees to work together on projects and help each other. Team-building activities can foster camaraderie and improve collaboration. Provide opportunities for growth. Offer training programs and advancement opportunities. When employees see a path for growth, they are more likely to stay engaged. Build trust through open communication. Maintain an open-door policy where employees feel safe to voice their concerns and ideas. Regular check-ins and feedback sessions can show that you value their input. Create a comfortable work environment. Ensure the physical working conditions are safe and comfortable. This includes everything from proper lighting to adequate break times. Regular team meetings are crucial for creating a pleasant environment. They give a forum for open conversation, enabling everyone to keep informed about farm operations and express their opinions. Employees feel more connected and integral to agricultural choices, dramatically boosting morale.
Every successful dairy farm has strong leadership that understands how to maximize the potential of their staff. A farm owner may significantly increase team performance and overall farm operations by developing solid connections, establishing clear objectives, giving comprehensive training, and providing constructive feedback. Effective leadership is more than simply task management. It's about motivating and empowering your team. By applying the techniques and recommendations presented, dairy farm owners may see visible changes in their operations, resulting in increased production and a more unified work atmosphere. As you go ahead, consider how you improve your leadership abilities to create an atmosphere where every team member feels appreciated and inspired to succeed. Consider the following comment by company management guru Peter Drucker. Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. By concentrating on effective leadership, you improve your farm's performance now and lay the framework for long-term success in the future.
Thank you for tuning in to the Bullvine Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's insightful discussion. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Catch you next time on the Bullvine Podcast, where bovine expertise and community come together.